Hello guys, welcome to Kenyan Government Show and I'm your host Ken. And leo nadai kuwapatia story fulani about the Israel as a country. Na story hiyo yenyewe ili happen between four countries to be specific, that is Israel, Libya, Kenya na Uganda. Na hii story inaitwa Operation Thunderbolt, yani Operation Entebe. In ile time ndege ya Israel ilikuwa hijackiwa na some terrorists and then ikakuja to Africa wakati Id Amin alikuwa urezo. So it was in 1976 27th June ambapo ndege hii it was in Tel Aviv, Israel, na ilikuwa inachukua passengers from Israel, Tel Aviv, then ipitie Athens ichukue passengers wengine ikielekea Paris. But on its route to Athens, wakati iliongezea some passengers, it was hijacked on its way to Paris, then it was diverted to Libya for refueling. But because Libya was so close to Israel, waka-opt kushuka chini mpaka UG, because by then the then sitting president Id Amin Dada alikuwa in support with the Arabs nation na alikuwa na support the claims and the demands of the Palestinian people. So ndege yenyewe ilihijakiwa na 2 Palestinians and 2 Germans, and later wakaongezeka wakati walifika UG because Id Amin aliwaongezea 100 Ugandan military kusaidia at least ku contain the hostages. Hiyo news ilifika Israel ya kwamba some of their citizens had been hijacked and wako in Africa, specifically in Uganda, Entebe. Na so before that, Israel na Uganda, they had a good relationship when Milton Obote was the president. And even they said Entebe International Airport was constructed by an Israelite company. So they called the company na wakataka kujua the outlay ya airport itself, at least wakiplan venye wanaweza shuka na kuokoa wasi wao. But the terrorists, they had some demands, and these were: 1, the release of the 40 Palestinian prisoners of war wenye walikuwa wako katika Israel prisons, and the 13 prisoners of war wenye walikuwa wameshikwa na other countries by the demands of Israel, na at least a ransom of $5 million. And by that time it was a lot of money. It is 1976 to be precise. So as I said earlier in my previous video tackling the Palestine-Israel war currently, tulisema Israel wanakuwa na slogan moja kama ya US: we never negotiate with terrorists. So waliona kulipa hiyo ransom na at least meet the demands of terrorists ama the hijackers itakuwa ngori ile mbaya. So what they opt to? They opted kutengeneza squad ambayo ingeenda kusave the hijacked ama the kidnapped ama the hostages of Israel. And in the flight itself ilikuwa na watu 248, 92 Israelites and 12 crew members. So because the hijackers hawakuwa na issue na the non-Israelites, waka release 148 non-Israel back to Paris, then wakaachona the 92 and the 12 crews. So for them kukuja kuchukua their own citizens in Africa, ambapo already Sudan iko in league with Uganda because they support the Arab world, ambapo as of that time ilikuwa ni vita because it was after the 6-day war. So ilikuwa ngori sana. So they had to plan a plan ambayo ingekuwa fiti na inge make sure hakuna casualties wengi when coming to the side of the Israel people. So wakakuja na hiyo story yao. First of all walitafuta gari inakaa kama ya Id Amin Dada, a limousine, 2 Range Rovers, wakazilod kwa military aircraft. Walikuja na military aircraft 2, alafu wakakuwa 100 well trained Mossad They were led by Jonathan Netanyahu, who was the elder brother of the current Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And unfortunately, he lost his life during the rescue mission. So they had to fly as low. They had to travel at night. Now fly very low altitude, at least wasikuwe detected na radar za nchi zingine, because from Israel to Uganda, most countries that were there zilikuwa supporters wa Palestine demand. So they had to be very they had to be kukuwa na ile like to have that intelligence ama IQ na kukuwa very apply some laws of physics ya kwamba wakitembea in a low altitude, at least radars za kudetect hiyo ndege itakuwa ngumu. So they flew the two Range Rovers and one limousine with Ugandan number plates, and they wore Ugandan military uniform, and their 100 commandos wakakuja hadi Entebe usiku. The radar haikuwa noticed because as of that time technology in Africa and especially Uganda haikuwa that great as of that time. So wakakuja usiku and then wakaenter into those convoy, but wakienda kuingia Entebe Airport, the idea was ya kwamba tukiingia Entebe Airport, because wataona the number plates of limousine ya Id Amin na already kona flag ya Uganda, naone watu wako na nguo za kijeshi za Uganda, hawatawasimamisha wakiingia airport. But the men at the gate wakaangalia wase sikatai wako na uniform ya UG, bendera ni za UG, but these are white people. Na Uganda as of that time walikuwa hawakuwa na in good para na wase wazungu as of that time, because I remember Id Amin akisema all the Indians watoke. Already alikuwa amefukuza some of the Israelites in Uganda, so akashuku sana. So ile like alikuwa anataka ku radio call base kujua ni kina nani. Hapo ndio walianza ku open fire na wakaua the two soldiers wenye walikuwa hapo kwa gate. Then ikakuwa ni story ya nipatie nikupatie. So they were able to rescue the 92 and the 12 member crew of the Air France, but it was later one of all the 92 crew members waliokolewa, and except one Dora Block ambaye alikuwa amegonjeka a day before the rescue mission, so alikuwa mpelekwa OC at least kupata matibabu. So by that time wakikuja kuokoa yeye alikuwa OC ya Uganda, so hakupata chance ya kuokolewa. And when the authorities learned that Israel ilikuwa imekuja na ikachukua wase wao, they were so angry na the authorities wakaorder Dora Black auliwe. So the 92 Israel citizens were rescued, and it was Uganda faced a casualties of 45 soldiers waliuliwa na the terrorists themselves ambao walikuwa wamehijack hiyo ndege. And unfortunately Jonathan Netanyahu, the brother to the current prime minister, aliuliwa na 5 wounded Israel soldiers. So they had to take their 5 wounded and the body of Jonathan Netanyahu. And because Id Amin alikuja akajua they were in league ama Kenya ili support hiyo mission in one way or the other, because they had first to come to Kenya and refuel on their way back to Uganda. On their way back to Israel. So Id Amin was so furious and he ordered the murder of all Kenyans living in Uganda. So as of that time, a great number of Kenyans were assassinated. It says that 245 Kenyan citizens were killed, and some even ran from Uganda in fear of their lives. So swali yangu ni, if Israel inaweza travel that long distance, it is about 1,000 kilometers, more than 1,000 kilometers from Israel to Uganda. na wakuja wafanye operation in another country that is miles away from their own country, without the help of the US, without the help of any other country except Kenya iliwa offer place ya refuel at JKIA. My question still rings me. Is it possible for the Israel army to go and rescue the current hostages that are held by the Gaza militants? Is it possible? Ama, are they looking for a way to expand their territories? Yani ile like you look for a reason to invade another country, at least you gain territorial power. Because the rate at which Israel as a country is killing civilians in Palestine currently, kwangu na nikalia kama issue inaweza tatuliwa tu kiasi, but maybe there are some forces ama there are some superpowers they are behind. Because for me, when Israel was stationed in Palestine in the middle of the Arab world, was it a watchdog to ensure that the Arab world will never rise to power to challenge the current sitting power of the US? That's a question and a statement we can ponder on. Thank you guys. I hope the story has enlightened us as a whole. Now, my request to you is, if you feel you can add something to this, kindly do it in our comment section. If you feel you like some topics to tackle, some history things ambazo tunaweza share with the rest, kindly comment on our section ya comments pale. Usiogope, ukijisikia unaweza dai kuja kwa show, at least co-host, you be one of our guests one day. Tuko very willing and very flexible. And don't forget to like our video, subscribe, and even share, because your support ndio inanijenga na mimi at least nipate hiyo chance na nguvu ya kwenda ku look for some interesting stories zenye zinaweza kujenga wewe na zinijenge mimi. So guys, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking, and thank you for commenting, and have a blessed time.